These are two totally different things that not a lot of people know about, and they don't really differentiate, especially if you're new to this stuff. The difference between getting in shape and staying in shape. So for a very, very long period of time, I've strived to be someone that is in shape year round, someone with high standards, and successfully for the last few years I have been doing it. Now prior to that, I thought I was doing that, but actually I was essentially just having bouts of momentum where I'd be really good shape, followed by bouts and periods of momentum where I didn't. I would lose my shape, I didn't know how to maintain my muscle mass, I would gain a bit of body fat, and I felt very, very out of control. And I want to pick apart how I have achieved that, how we help clients achieve that, and essentially the sort of stuff that everyone else that is doing this, anyone else that you know, anyone else that you look up to when it comes to their body shape and performance, I'm going to strip apart the little nuances that nobody really talks about, that goes beyond just tracking macros. Because let's be honest, loads of folk think, let's get in shape, it's just about steps, it's just about tracking macros, it's just about training. Now fundamentally, yes, you need to be training well, you need to be active, and you need to be managing your nutrition, but it goes way beyond that. That's just level one, and that's just about essentially numbers, the how and the what and the when. The big shift that you need to be going through is, this is a shift in identity, this is a total shift in lifestyle, and that's exactly what I'm going to dive into today. So number one is that you need to become obsessed about this. Like, I mean fucking obsessed. Like, you need to be thinking about this every single waking moment, right? Now people hear that and hear the word obsessed and they're like, oh, obsessed, I don't like the sound of that, I don't want to be obsessed. You need to be obsessed to do anything great. Now we have a client that's basically chasing a world record in 2027. And the reason why it's 2027 is because it's a world record attempt. It's a huge feat. They're going to basically cycle between the three peaks, run up and down them, and it's going to require a lot of build of fitness, a lot of conditioning, and also just a lot of time. It's a lot of effort, it's a lot of mileage you need to put in to get to that point. They've only just started cycling, so it's a long way to go, but I'm very dead certain they're going to do it. Now, they actually first planned on doing this in 2026. And they basically started having conversations with me a couple of months ago, and they were like, right, I've got some travelling coming up, some holidays. Do you think the cycling and the training will affect this holiday? And I just kind of stopped them and I said, look, the fact that you're even asking me right now means that this world record attempt isn't going to happen in 2026. Like, if this is where your head's at with it right now and you're already calculating times where you're going to scale back, you're not going to do it, because the other person that's chasing that world record somewhere out there, maybe in the UK, wherever they are in the world, that's got this same goal, is obsessing over it more than you are. And people just hear the word obsession and they think about someone that's like stepping on the scales every single morning and it's just beating themselves up. That's not obsession, that's a lack of awareness and a poor relationship with yourself. Obsession is chasing it. I always say that when I go for a massage, or like it's usually always a massage, and I say to Ailey, what were you thinking about there? Because you've got no phone, no distractions, and it's like midday, whatever it is, right? And you've got your wee head in the hole and you're left alone with your own thoughts. Whatever you're thinking about at that same moment is essentially the direction that your life's going in. So if you're ruminating negative thoughts, you probably need to look at, right, well, how do I change this? What do I work on? If you're someone that's like, you're sitting lying there thinking, all you're thinking about is like high rocks, or all you're thinking about is your next event, or all you're thinking about is your partner, these are the things that are your priorities. And that's what a lot of folk don't realise. Like, we do not experience life, we experience the life that we focus on. And when it comes to your food, your training, your standards, your activity levels, you need to be thinking about that with every single waking moment. And this is something that I've really realised, like, as I've started to be able to travel to different countries, because this was a big shift for me. Like, I crushed so many limiting beliefs when I started travelling to like Southeast Asia, and I ate out for every single meal. And I maintained a great standard of physique, and I was like, how am I doing this? Well, I wasn't going out and eating like a ball bag. I was just going out and I was really thoughtful and mindful of what I was doing all of the time. And then I started to carry this back home with me more and more. So like, the first time I really experienced this was November 2023, and I was like, a lot of uncontrollables. I wasn't in an environment that was controlled. I was eating out all the time. And I just proved to myself that you're thinking about it all the time and it's in the forefront of your mind, you're in control. The minute you just let it be mindless, the minute you let other people make decisions when it comes to your food, your activity levels and what you do, is the minute your physique, your body shape and your performance is no longer yours. And that's where so many folk go wrong. Like, you need to be thinking about this 247, 365 days a year. You need to be thinking things like, cool, I'm a little bit less active today. Cool, I need to get a bit more active. Right, my training volume's dropped down a little bit recently because I couldn't get that session in. Right, where can I make up that volume a little bit more? Like, you need to be thinking about it like a balancing act all the time, and you need to just make sure that you're doing enough. There's a bare minimal effective dosage for you to live at the standard you want to live at, and it's as simple as that. You need to be obsessed. Number two You need to stop using volatile language when it comes to food. Like, one of the big things, like, I always kind of laugh at grown men when they say it, is they say things like, I'm having a wee treat, and I'm like, you don't need to have a treat. And something actually Carly said in our podcast yesterday is like, I was asking her opinion on balance, and she was like, you don't focus on balance. That is the key to balance. And it's so true. You shouldn't be at a point where you're trying to justify or warrant foods in your diet. That is not a good relationship with food. And anyone that is able to maintain a good standard of physique year round, they don't reward themselves in food. If they want something, they have it, but they also understand the value in high quality nutrition the lion's share of the time. That's what they really, really know. So imagine you use that sort of language with your relationship. Imagine you used words like cheating, treats. Yeah. So imagine you said, I'm just going out to treat myself to your partner with someone else. Like, it doesn't make sense. So you need to stop using the language like that and just look at it as food. Look at it as fuel. And I know this is something that is built into us and it's not going to change overnight. It's something we really need to work on. But yeah, like, think about what you are doing. You're supporting a pretty poor relationship with food if that's how you speak about it. Number 3, do not treat weekends differently. Every day is the same. Your body does not know if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday or Sunday. However, people have this tendency, including myself in the past, and it's one thing that we come up against with a lot of clients, where they have a lot of like ingrained weekend behaviours. Because it's the weekend, they really drop the ball with their standards. They allow themselves to tolerate a lot of things that aren't helping them. They sleep in way more than they need to be. They're way less active than usual. They have a lot of tendencies, default tendencies, just because it's Saturday, that's the day that they eat crap because it's Saturday. I'm not saying like you can't eat hypercaloric foods or you can't go out for some food that's a little less nutritionally quality. I had pizza yesterday and I went out for breakfast yesterday morning. My breakfast was pretty high fat and it wasn't typically the most nutritious breakfast. Do I do that all the time? No, I don't. But when I know myself really, really well and I know where I'm at, I'm able to manage that in a way because I've got a great understanding. Whereas if you're cutting yourself so much slack and for no reason, you don't even want to do it. Like, you're just going out for a meal and picking the worst option of the meal because it's the weekend. Like, you can go out for breakfast, you can go out for lunch, and you can get eggs and toast with a bit of salmon. You don't have to go out and order the belly buster breakfast because it's Saturday and that's what you do. Like, it's about being able to switch away from this and make sure that you're making decisions for yourself and not because you think that you should do them. And that's what a lot of people do. Also understand as well, guys, like, your environment dictates, like, the group of people that you're around, the environments that you're in, the spaces that you're in are going to influence it as well. And make sure that you're telling people like what you're doing, what you're like. It's not even, I'm just trying to lose weight right now. It's like, no, I'm really making a conscious effort right now to eat a lot better. And I know I usually eat this when I go out, but I'm actually trying this out because I know that like I'll still be able to nail what I want to nail, be able to still go out for food with you, and I don't have to have 300 calories and a hot chocolate and a breakfast that's literally the guts of 1200 calories. I can go out and actually eat food and not walk away feeling busted. And this is a big shift that so many folk need to go through. You don't purposely plan overindulgence. This is a huge one, right? And this kind of ties into the last two as well. I know that a lot of this is around food, but let's be honest, guys, like, you can be, like I've done in one of my most recent YouTubes, like, you can be training like an absolute Trojan, but if your nutrition's not in order, you're not going to get the results that you want. You're not going to see the change in your body that you want to see. So you can't be purposely planning in overindulgence. You just cannot be doing it. And this is where I see so many folk go wrong, is like they're almost like sabotaging themselves. They're almost talking about this big reward, this big treat that they're going to have. And you're just like, listen to what you're even saying right now. Like, listen to what you're even implying here. Like, yeah, go out and have some food. Go out and have some pizza. But the fact that you're actually building it up in a way, you're almost setting yourself up to fail, because let's be honest, like, when you do eat like that and you purposely overindulge and it's like you're super duper gluttonous, you do not feel good the next day. You feel full, you've had an irritated sleep, your guts are sore, you're backed up, you don't feel good, you feel a bit cloudy. Like, why would you purposely go out your way to do that? And it's because people have had this built into them, ingrained into them, that's like the reward centre. The reward centre is going for this big massive meal. I can't wait to get my lips around this meal. I can't wait to scan all that food. And it's like, you shouldn't be letting yourself get to that point, and you shouldn't be purposely planning this, because anyone that's able to maintain and manage a good standard physique just does not do that. And it's something that I used to do. I used to really, really plan greed and gluttony and overindulgence in my week, especially when it came to watching movies, snacks. I still have snacks, but it's like we sat and watched a movie last night and we had grapes and we had some popcorn with it as well. A bit of overindulgence and a bit of snacking and stuff, but we weren't purposely going there. Well, we go to the shop and get a big feast and get a big munch. Like, think about like this intent. That is not someone that you're trying to be, and that's definitely not someone that's got the physique and standard of body shape that you want. And then lastly, guys, you need to be sleeping really, really well. I spoke about this before, but sleep is the biggest return on investment that you're going to have when it comes to anything you do in your life. If you could take anyone and you were to look at, like, imagine you had like a group of like 100 people and they all had different goals. Like, one of them was to do well at university, one of them was to they were a doctor and they had a big test coming up, or they had like a load of, I don't know, like surgery they were doing that was super hard and they'd never done it before. And then you had someone else that was trying to get into really, really good shape and they were trying to get a lot leaner. And the common denominator amongst all those people that you could say to them, what's the one thing that you will improve that will simultaneously improve every single one of you across the board? It would be sleep, because human beings need sleep, and when you start compromising that, it compromises everything else. And this is what a lot of folk don't realise. Like, what we help a lot of people with when they come into RFAs, phase one is infancy. It's about helping people build up better habits, behaviours, building the body, building the mindset, getting them the results they've never been able to get. And a lot of people, when they come in, what they don't realise that they're actually needing to fix at the beginning is their energy. Their energy's all over the place, and they always talk about having a lot of uncontrollable behaviours when it comes to the eating, and they're grabbing loads of crap and they're eating on the go, and then they feel like they have binge eating tendencies. And you're like, you start to look at it, it's like, right, when are you having your first meal of the day? Oh, I don't eat breakfast. It's like, right, okay. It's not to say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but most people that say that are usually out of shape. So what do you have for lunch? Oh, well, I'll just have this or I'll have that. It's like, no, what do you typically have for lunch? It's like, well, because I've not organised anything, by the time it's 11 o'clock, I'm absolutely starving. So I head to Greg's and I get this and I get this and I get this. And then it carries on for the rest of the day, and then they end up eating a ton of food in the evening, which then impacts their sleep because they've stayed up later. They wake up feeling groggy, and that just has a knock-on effect on essentially their hormonal system, their endocrine system. Their ghrelin is increased. That's their appetite hormone. They're a lot hungrier. They feel a lot more uncontrollable, a lot more impulsive when it comes to food. So actually regulating your sleep should be the first staple for so many people. And it's the one thing I know that when I'm fatigued and tired, my radar immediately goes on, like, Christian, you're probably going to be a lot more snackier than usual. You're probably going to be grabbing a lot more foods that you don't usually typically grab. So just be conscious of that, being aware of that, especially if I've had a few back-to-back nights of poor quality sleep, whether that's to do with travelling, being in a different bed, having stuff on that I don't usually have on, increased volume in training. I need to be very, very wary of that, because I know when that goes, the one thing that can start to definitely fall down for me is my nutrition. So these are the things that anyone that stays in great shape is very, very hyper aware of. Anyone that I've met that does this very well, they embody all of these things, and they do none of the things that I said that you don't do. And these are things that you need to be thinking about. So I want you to leave your thoughts in the comments below. I want you to make sure that you've subscribed to the channel as well, because so many of you are watching this content and you're not subscribing. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you took a lot away from it. See you later. Goodbye.